And we're back. That was The Dealers with Black Beast, a band out of Molfetta, Italy. Truly a international flavor here on the Random Internet Radio Show, because before that we had a rapper from Africa by the name of Righteous, R-Y-T-I-O-U-S, I believe South Africa, with a song called Beckamina. And then before that, we had the most international group of all, 500 miles to Memphis out of Cincinnati, Ohio, with All I'm Asking For. By the way, if you like music, which I know you all do, I'm going to be doing a segment later. It's a brand new segment called L.A. Licks. And what that is basically where I get out, I contact an artist, ask them, hey, can I play your music? And if they agree, I play them. Pure and simple. L.A. Licks, and they're all Los Angeles artists, so do stay for that. Well, last night, I went to the lovely Pantages Theater in Hollywood, took the train. Now, Los Angeles is huge. Los Angeles is bigger than most states of the Union, and there's been a lot of talk about their transit system and their traffic and everything else. But the metro system and the connections to Union Station, which is the hub of everything, beautiful, beautiful. No complaints. Had a full day yesterday, took the train most of it, and I got no complaints. I mean, I'd say it's up there with Boston and New York at this point. There just needs to be more lines. So, back to the reason I was in Hollywood last night. I went to see a production which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, and it is called The Book of Mormon. Book of Mormon, a musical that was crafted by Trey Parker, Matt Stone, and Robert Lopez. And basically, it's the story of an elder, Elder Price, or two various elders. Elder Price, Elder Cunningham are the main guys. And it talks, at the beginning, it speaks about a brief history of how the Mormon Church was founded. Knowing Trey Parker and Matt Stone, you know that it was quite raunchy, but it was really funny. And then you get to the missionary training center. The kids are there, the guys who are going on their mission, and one wants to go to Orlando, Florida so badly, Elder Price, but he ends up getting paired with probably the least proficient missionary at the training center and gets sent out to Uganda. And, well, all sorts of hilarity ensues. It's a wonderful production, musical as hell. I mean, it is a straight-out Tony Award-winning Broadway musical type thing that you would think you'd see in the 40s and 50s, but maybe not in the 40s, maybe, yeah, the 50s. Had tap dancing and huge numbers, and it was a true Broadway show from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, and it's kind of nuts. So anyway, go to see the Book of Mormon. And go to this theater called the Pantages. Now, if you've ever been to Hollywood, one of the things you need to see is the Pantages Theater, the inside of the Pantages Theater, which means you probably have to buy a ticket, but, you know, Pantages Theater, beautiful theater, gorgeous, old school 1920s and 30s design. There's bronzed everything, gold everything. And it is really a night at the theater, a very nice night at the theater. So, had great seats, was up in the balcony, saw basically the whole, everything going on stage. I love those seats. I do not like seats where you have to look up, where you have to crane your neck, or the front row seats at a show where the orchestra pit is blowing your eardrums. I like the seats where you're above everything and you can see everything. You can see the movement of the stage. You can see the movement of the props. You can see the actors coming in and out. You can see all that. Because in my opinion, that helps me to appreciate the show quite a bit more when I see all of the mechanics and moving parts. Some people just completely want to be transported to a different world, and me, I'm not like that. I know that this is a show, and I get into it, but I like to see how they do things. My first show was Les Miserables when I was 7 years old. 7 years old, and ever since then, I've loved the theater. I was a dramatics major for 2-3 years. Some would say I'm a dramatics major now. Haha, insert joke here. But in any case, I've always loved acting. I've always appreciated the stage, and this production is phenomenal. Now, one of the things that the Book of Mormon does well, the production is that it combines the most raunchy, sadistic, wrong humor with a lighthearted, sensible musical. It is a perfect menagerie, a perfect mixture, a perfect salad, if you will, of raunch. I mean, it's like if you were to compare it to a literal salad, it would be lettuce, cayenne pepper, some really, really tangy oranges. I mean, it would just be all of these flavors together, but it would work in the end. And that's what it did. Now, I have a rather unique vantage point on this whole thing because I was born and raised a Mormon. I was baptized Mormon. I was brought up in the church. I was on my path to having a mission, to being a missionary of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. If you've ever seen the show, you'll get that. One of the music numbers they sing is Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so watching this, I went in with an open mind, but the Mormon church to me is like a family member I don't talk to very much and I don't agree with, if that makes any sense whatsoever. The Mormon church to me is like that uncle that I don't talk to and I don't agree with very much, but the thing is, if anybody bashes the church, I get defensive because I know a lot of these people are very good people. In fact, as if you've heard my show last week, they helped me put on a funeral for my mother for free. I have nothing against a church that just solely based on my mother's geography, because the church is broken up into wards, stakes, and branches based on geography. Just based on my mother's geography, not her church attendance, not how much tithing she paid, not who she, what kind of Mormon she was. No, solely based on the fact that she was a member of the church in that particular area. They gave all they could. And it was just, I'm so grateful for that. So I have no problem with the Mormon people. A couple of the beliefs are my question. I enjoy coffee. I enjoy vaping. I enjoy numerous activities, as a matter of fact, and have enjoyed numerous activities in my life that go completely contrarian to the very rigid moral standards of the Mormon Church. Now, the thing of it is I do all the Mormon things, I guess you could say. I have a family and the kids are good and treated well and they know God and everything, but I just don't, the devil is in the details, as they say. And the devil is in the details for me as far as the church goes. There are things I just don't agree with. And I've been told by members, by members of the church, hey, you don't have to follow everything. You can just go to church and live your life to the best of your ability, and nobody's gonna judge you. It's bull. That is a crock of shit. Every Mormon church I've been to has a hierarchy, and every Mormon church I've been to has a group of people who think that they are super Mormons. They go to the temple. They do rites for the dead. They do cannery drives. They do all of the things you're supposed to do as a Mormon. And yet they look down on people who come in and have tattoos. They act like very welcoming, but once the person's baptized, it's like the deal is sealed. That happened to my wife. It's like the deal is sealed, And it's like, the thing of it is like, you just cannot do that. That is not what happens in a church. That's not what should happen in a church, but people are the way. People are their way, They are who they are. They do what they do. It's not the church's fault. But back to the production. I didn't mean for this to become a Mormon discussion. We're talking about the Book of Mormon, the musical. And I have to say, the music in it is damn catchy. It's damn musical stylish, it's very, very musical, kind of thing. Lots of dancing, lots of numbers. Wouldn't have won Tonys if it didn't have production numbers up the ass, but in the first part, they're talking about the Mormon Church and the main belief about Moroni and Mormon. And the way Trey Parker and Matt Stone put it, it's like they're telling the truth about the church, but it's put in a way where it sounds